So there was something I actually thought of. I'll probably do a cut in of the battle footage that goes over the top of this commentary. But that battle right there reminds me of something that I always try. Like, I've studied the Civil War a lot in my life, ever since I was a kid. All of the different battles and so many of the different generals and the way they approach things. And in my early studies of the Civil War, had heard all about the different ways that General Lee was a genius and that General McClellan was a pansy and not a good general. That battle and the way that it worked out reminds me of essentially the way that McClellan, what I've always thought of, that he had right. And he learned it when he went over to observe, as I understand it anyway, in my own studies. He went over to observe the French, the British, and I think the Turks fight in the Crimean War. And he learned how artillery kind of sets the line a lot in this era, and you pretty much can't do a whole lot with outside of the range, or you don't want to do a whole lot outside of the in a major battle environment, let's say, outside the range of your artillery. And so the key in McClellan's mind was just get your big guns in a position where they will just march up, and as long as you have more of the big guns that can fire accurately, the enemy will just move back, and you won't have to get a bunch of your men killed. What you saw happen in that battle right there was me get the artillery set, get the line set using the artillery, and get it all set with the artillery there within range. The artillery can start banging away indiscriminately at the enemy line, and then the infantry is just there to just kind of finish the job, so to speak. And then, you want to flank everywhere that you have a chance where the enemy's flank is in the air. Get some troops like I did around the side there and flank them, and hope that those flanking troops don't get isolated or run off. And so, just to kind of put a wrap on what I was talking about, again, McClellan's problem was that he was too cautious. He loved and cared about the lives of his men too much. And that's it. They loved him. They loved him because he felt that way. But it doesn't win you a whole lot of battles. And so he would work that whole idea of get the artillery set up, and then if things kind of got moving and Lee began pushing the initiative and everything, he would lose his stuff and he wouldn't know what to do. He'd call for a retreat. He'd call for reinforcements. He'd say that the Confederates outnumbered him by a whole bunch. Timidity and caution, over-caution, was McClellan's problem. Otherwise, his concept was sound. It was a sound concept. Lead with the artillery, do everything from there. It made sense, especially when you're talking about going up against fortified positions.